Hello, welcome back to Parkitect here on Geekism Gaming. My name is John T, and today we're starting building our dueling coasters for the pirate area. Figuring out what the hell's going on with that queue, but it seems to have figured itself out. Okay, so there are a couple of different types of sort of joint coasters, I guess. Sort of dueling and racing are the sort of two main ones. The difference being that racing are usually mirrored, and it's more about who gets into the station at the end. Dueling normally cross over a lot more, and it's about sort of close encounters during the ride, sort of corkscrews going over the top of each other and stuff. I'm not good enough with the coaster builder in this game to do a proper dueling coaster, so this is more like a racing coaster with elements of dueling inside. You'll see as we get into it. So the idea is that we're going to come up high over this area and then head back down and over the water and then back to the stations. And this is going to be a slightly shorter video. It's actually going to be a two-part video. This is in the first one here, we actually build the coasters, and then in the second one we're going to decorate them, finish off the stations, line them all up with queues and actually get people on them. So there we go. We're starting off with a very slight pre-drop, nice tight corner down into a decent drop. And then it's all about inversions, this, and I'll be honest with you, this would break your neck, this ride, in real life, but like I said before, this game has relatively low intensity for rides, so you can go a little bit more wild. So you see there, off the drop, we go straight into some inversions, and almost like a batwing, really, that sort of comes out over the station and back in again. I had a little bit of issue here. The original plan was always to loop both coasters, have a vertical loop around the monorail. It would never happen in real life, I can't imagine. I've never seen anything like it, but I know it was doable in this game, and I thought it'd be really awesome for both the monorail and the coasters. But for some reason, I just could not get a loop to work. You can see it's panned out there. I eventually realised, I think it's because I've got 15 degrees. I keep forgetting to do this. I have 15 degrees on my on the rotation there of the piece, so eventually I go back and fix it, but for now I'm trying to find other ways of making the ride go over the coaster, over the monorail, excuse me, and then back into the station. And it's quite tricky because obviously the monorail is quite low down to the water there, and I really didn't want to have this coaster go underground or anything like that, but I tried my best to get it back under, but just kind of struggled with both the monorail and also the coaster itself getting back over the top of it. So eventually I take all this off and go back. There has been an update to the game, actually. We're now in Alpha 7, I think, and a few more rides have been added. Go-karts have been added that I think will be quite cool to play around with, although I don't really think they'll fit in the pirate area, so we'll perhaps have to look at putting those into a new area later on. And there's also a few other bits and bobs as well. Security does a lot more now. Vandalism can take place and security guards can affect that vandalism, and yeah, a few other little bits like that, and some quality life changes and just various sort of fixes to the game. It's really great to see the company work so hard on it and really develop it with the current alpha players in mind. There we go. We finally got the loop roughly to where I wanted it to be, just neating it up slightly, and then pretty much we're going to come back round into the station. Like I said, this is not a very realistic ride at all. I consider doing another sort of I forget what they're called now, Intamin loop, sort of side Intamin loop back out, but I just feel like it's probably enough inversions with the loop, vertical loop there, so we end up getting rid of that and then just coming back into the station. So yeah, we don't really have a brake run before the station. There are no sort of block brakes apart from one at the very bottom of the vertical lift. So it's just going to be one train at a time on these rides. But like I say, I'm not great with the coaster builder in this game. I do much better with the one in Planet Coaster. So let's talk about Planet Coaster for a moment. This will be going online on Monday the 7th. The beta launches on the 9th, so it's Wednesday now. There's no confirmed time for the beta release yet. I was planning on doing a live stream all day on Twitch for the release of Planet Coaster, but it looks like now that talks say that the game will be released on the evening in the UK, sort of around 6 PM GMT or thereabouts. And I currently raid in WoW, so that'll be my raid night on Wednesday nights, and I don't want to let my guys down, so I will be raiding. So I may end up doing a live stream on Thursday daytime instead, because daytimes are sort of the time I get to sit down and play single player games and do live streams and things like that. So if you would like to join me for the live streams, head over to the Geekism Network Twitch page. I'll put a link on the screen now. There's also a link in the description, and it'd be really great to see you there. Obviously, once the game's out, we're going to be doing a massive load of content with Planet Coaster. We're going to be doing Let's Plays, we're going to be doing showcases, we're going to be doing sort of singular builds, larger park builds. We're going to be probably just doing a straight up Let's Play of the campaign. I honestly can't, I know that this game is going to consume my life, so I want it to consume your lives as well through this channel, and so yeah, that's what's going to happen. So here we go, we're building the second coaster, and it's pretty much a mirror image. It very slightly doesn't match up at the top. This is quite strange, this. It doesn't match up at the top. It actually, the curve comes around a little shorter, as you'll see when I go around, but for some reason the brakes affect it more at the bottom of the vertical drop. So this one of them goes up the vertical slope slightly slower, but then catches up on the slightly tighter turn at the top, and then they both run the rest of the ride at the same amount of time. I had a good try and figure it out what the problem was, couldn't figure it out, so bodged it that way, and it works really nicely. And when they come around the loops later on, you'll see it looks absolutely fantastic with them both sort of sharing the airtime there. Now the one thing I didn't realise was this large curve here is going to go slap into the pirate ship pathway there, and a guy's drowning, so we quickly grab him, and then I do go back and fix that later on, so there's no need to shout in the comments that the pirate ship's not working, because I do go back and sort that out later on. And we finish off there, and you may have noticed the problem. Let's see, we'll have a quick run through the ride, see if you spotted the deliberate mistake that certainly wasn't deliberate, and I don't find out until about now. There we go, we have a crash, and that's because we had a slight degree. And I keep forgetting to take the degree off, I really do. I wish maybe it automatically takes the degree off and you have to keep re-adding it, although for people who don't have the issue I do, that would probably be very annoying. So here we're using the coaster sync up period there. Again, for some reason I could have, I think it's because the station's slightly shorter on one. I've just noticed that, actually. I'll go back and fix that. I can only have 5 cars on one and 6 cars on the other, so I've made them both 5 cars. You'll see here, look, the one on the right goes up slightly slower, but because that top there is slightly smaller, they come round perfectly lined up there and then down into the coaster. I'll do a real-time speed view of the coaster in a little while, but there you go. You can see him go around the loop there, and it looks really nice. We had a slight problem that that piece still had the chain link on. Taking the chain link off and putting a normal piece back in there actually reapplies the bevel that was on from the corner, so you'll see in a moment that the ride crashes again. Although it doesn't crash on the ghost run there, the ghost run manages to fix it. It sort of jiggers down the slope, but there, look, we get that crash, and that's purely because that extra piece I've just added in there has the curvature on it. So quickly go back and take that off. If I was in this park, I would not go on this ride after watching it crash twice during building, but hopefully the peeps will. So there we go, we figured it out there, and off they go up. You'll see that one there on the right is very slightly slower. There's no difference in the pieces there at all, so I can't figure out why that is, but because of that slightly shorter curve there, they come down and line up perfectly. We have a nice loops there, loop over the monorail and back into the station, and then we fix off the path there. Thanks very much for watching. Like I say, episode 2 will probably come out this week as well, and we'll be decorating this, making it look piratey themed and making them look like slightly better dueling coasters. Thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.